All right, welcome back to another stream. I changed the title real quick because we don't have anything that's as of right now confirmed to be on the ground in Texas. We do have a strong area rotation, however. And if we go back a little bit in scans here, where you can see it was a little bit more broad here, and then they did issue a tornado warning for this thing. And I was looking through scans, and I saw this right here near Luke Wilson, Texas. And then we go through the next couple scans. Looks like we saw a tight couple in there. It's a little bit messier on the current scan, but we do have 4 ongoing tornado warnings. One in Texas, one in Oklahoma, and then the other in, well, one that's between Oklahoma and Arkansas. So if you're in those areas, specifically this one here, we got Heavener. This is crossing over the Oklahoma Arkansas state border. But on the Arkansas side, we got Black Fork, Tin Top, Ritz, Weeks, Morgan Springs, all the way up to Evening Shade and Waldron in Arkansas here. So take a look at the velocities here. Because this thing has been, I mean, just looking at reflectivity, I don't know where the tornado warnings went on this. Okay, there we go. Because just looking at reflectivity, you see this thing has been hooking. It's been trying to form a hook, but it looks like it's been kind of struggling to do that, but still something to watch for. Once again, that is on the Arkansas side there. And we did also have a tornado warning on this cell here, but looks like they have dropped that down to, I mean, they're probably going to let that expire out, and then they did issue a half-dollar size hail and 6-mile-per-hour wind threat on that. But in terms of our hail and tornado threat, this is I think our main cell right now at least. And then the one cell that's now crossing over into Arkansas. Also, I think I might have fixed the issue I had yesterday, because if you guys remember yesterday, I mentioned I was having some weird lag issues, which as of right now, that does not seem to be the case. I say as of right now because it could come back at any moment. Which I switched to, instead of using game ready drivers for NVIDIA, I'm using Studio drivers instead, which Studio drivers are more stable compared to their game ready driver counter side. So hopefully hopefully that stays the case, because I don't want to be dealing with the same issues like the last stream, but and then I had an interesting day today already. Well, earlier around lunchtime, which is, well, around 12 o'clock. Well, is noon basically for lunchtime, but and I was testing out a new electric scooter to my dad, yeah, and I kind of I kind of screwed up my foot, so that's gonna be interesting experience for next however long. Also, oh, I can zoom in, and cause the way that cause I still got to figure out the thing with the chroma key, where so I can make it not chroma key my face out, but because that's the one thing I've always had when it comes to a green screen on my background here, will green screen my entire face out. We also have severe dust warnings up here in Kansas as well. Our main threat for Kansas and even the northern half of, I say northern half, but actually, yeah, it is kind of northern half. like this section here is gonna be mainly wind and a hail threat for the most part. There is a tornado threat that does go all the way up here, but it's a much lower threat compared to down here, which we do have a SIG 2, 10% down here in the southeastern portion of Oklahoma, and a portion of northern Texas too, and then a 10% with SIG 1 outside of that. So yeah, that is the at least for the higher percentage area. We do, and then outside of that, we got 5% with SIG 1 as well, and it does extend into the 2% too. But our main area is gonna be in here for our tornado threat today. Where is our fronts at actually? Let me take a look, because okay, here it is. So because when it was 4 o'clock, so around 4 o'clock. They have the front sitting around in here. That's probably made. I do wonder if that's made its way more north and northeast. I do want to take a look at surface observations as well. See if our front has moved at all, which there's a chance it has, but uh, maybe. Let me take a look at well, actually, the Weather Prediction Center. I think it's gonna be the same what we just looked at, because that was 2 hours ago. It's probably made its way a little bit more north compared to what it was 2 hours ago, but probably not by much. And then we also have a hail threat today, which there's a 45% and also 30% areas with a SIG 2 for very large hail, of which a SIG 2 being 3.5 inches in diameter or larger, which is apple size hail or larger. And there was a MCD earlier that the Storm Prediction Center put out for hail possible in Arkansas that is larger than DVD size hail, which is that is some big hail, man. I tell you what, I just realized I'm missing a letter in tornado. I don't know how I didn't notice that till now. It's still slowly but surely moving off towards the east. Still struggling to get itself together here, because once again, this thing is, I mean, it hooked and then looks a bit more dog-legged out. Velocities don't look as tight as what you would expect for a couplet for a hook, but still something to keep an eye on just in case it does end up trying to wrap back up again. There's no there's only tornado radar indicated rotation on this thing. No hail looks like, which is kind of surprising. That unless it's because they have the severe dust warning on top of it, which may be why. So we're for 70-mile-per-hour winds, and that would be ping pong size hail. Yeah, this is if we do it once again, if we do have rotation on this thing here, it's definitely a lot more broad than it was a couple scans ago, because we go a couple more scans back. This is something in terms of velocity to see for like a strong tornado, and even that couplet there, and not really seeing anywhere where we have a inflow region. Although we would have your actually we would have your inflow going in right in here. One thing I will say is this is making its way southeast, which, not that you couldn't have a tornado threat with a supercell moving southeast, which, I mean, in this environment, we do have that threat. But typically, southeast moving cells are more of a hail threat, which right now we're seeing as of right now. That's also one for, well, the large apple size hail, which is a PDS severe thunderstorm warning as well. for which is a destructive severe storm. Wow, that is a small area for a tornado warned area there. That's like not even half of a triangle. It's like well, maybe it is half of a triangle. It just has a weird shape like this up here. I don't know. One thing I gotta do, because I've yet to add any tags onto my stream here for the actual YouTube portion of things. And it's also the second day in a row that well, not actually not the second day in a row. What am I talking about? This is the third day in a row, not the second. Third, because I streamed yesterday and then the day before that. Which that tornado in Enid, Oklahoma has been officially rated EF4. I will note though, we probably had because if with what I was talking about a little bit ago with the velocities on this thing, I wouldn't be surprised if we had like a brief strong tornado undergone or something over near Luke Wilson at some point. Oh, it's right here. Conveniency. All right. They got a severe dust running up here, warned for ping pong size hail as well, 6 mile per hour winds. And this one as well. Although this one's expire out 4 minutes, this one's expire within a little over half hour. Not really seeing a whole lot with this particular cell in Arkansas at this point. Although I do wonder if we go up until we'll see a little bit more than what we're seeing on here. Because I was looking at this cell here. I think we had rotation near Heavener. Then that made its way over here. And velocities don't look like much in terms of rotation at this point. But that's not to say we couldn't get... Because sometimes you could have, like, velocities that don't even look like strong couplets or anything. You still have a tornado, but I don't think that's going to be this case for today. And then, I don't know if did the wind probabilities ever get upgraded? No, it's still at the 30% without the any SIG, so the tornado and hail threats are the only things that have really been upgraded with the past few outlooks or so. Keep an eye on cell near Scotland right now, because it's I do wonder if it's trying to recycle right now. And they did issue a severe dust warning on top of that, going for an hour. 2-inch size hail also warned for that too. All right, let me take a look at, because I know we had an MCD that just got released. So let me take a look. Actually, let me check if the thing is on the right thing here. It is. Nice. All right, so here's the MCD that just got released. Hopefully my settings are actually proper. Yes, they are. Cool. So thunderstorm intensity downstream of the severe thunderstorm watch 134. Uncertain trends are being monitored for the additional watch, which I mean, they didn't put a percentage on that, but I feel like there might be a chance they end up. There's a chance they end up extending it, but well, who knows? We'll see if they end up doing so, because we do have a kind of just a little bit of a line of storms heading towards the Omaha area in Nebraska, which are warned for. Well, one has half-dollar size sail, the other has quarter size sail. Both have 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts being possible with the two. And then here is our outlook for today, which I know we just looked at on WeatherWise, but we'll look at it on the actual site itself. Which there's your SIG 2 for tornado, and there's your SIG 2 for hail. There's your wind threat. It's the one thing I will say about this shape, it looks like a gumball or something like that. Wow, yeah, okay, so taking a look at surface to 1 kilometer shear. Yeah, our best spot, which I mean, this is I think right where the tornado, yeah, that's basically right where the tornado risk is at. That's where the better shear is, which looks like there's at least as of however long this go with the radar here on the meso analysis, there is a looks like a shower or storm in that little area there. So we'll see how that does. There's a ton of, I know I keep sometimes I keep flip flopping between things, but we'll go back to the meso analysis. There is a ton of instability in this environment today. You got values well on the like over 4,000, 5,000 on the surface, and then the mix layer over like 3,000 or more, which is a very unstable environment. I'm kind of curious what the MU looks like. Most unstable. Cape, most unstable OPL. Alright, so 5,000 here. Let me take a look at the point values here. So 0 to 1 kilometers, SRH 82, 0 to 3. So this is, I mean, because this is a RAP analysis, because that's what the meso analysis is. It uses the RAP for real time, well, tries to measure real time conditions. Most unstable cape, over 5,000. That is, once again, that is just unstable. There is a curvature, but it's nothing super super high and super curved to the point where, at least of right now, not super curved, but it is enough to get these storms spinning. And we're down to 20 warnings in Texas and Arkansas. Okay, never mind. I just canceled out the one in Arkansas, which is likely due to the fact that one's been. It doesn't really have that. I mean, doesn't have that hook that we saw earlier. We gotta watch this one to the north of it though, just in case it does end up trying to wrap up and to try and do something here. We'll see what it does though. Which I think for the most part with our severe threat, a lot of our threat is, as of right now, is hail and wind. Not really, well, obviously the tornado threat's there, but nothing super high right now in terms of a tornado threat. see here. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, look at tomorrow's severe threat as well. Which they have another 30% wind risk for tomorrow too without a SIG. They have a 10% for tornado as well. Well, SIG 1, which we'll take a look on here. So here's the day 2 outlook, which goes up. Well, we have another enhanced risk, which is up here in Kansas, which we have a 10% in the Kansas here, and then a 5% around that, which goes up into Nebraska and this portion of northern Oklahoma here. But we have that once again we have this 10% here in Kansas with the SIG 1, so that'll be EF2 intensity tornadoes being possible. And then we have another hail threat, which is a 30% as well. And then there's your wind threat, but no SIG. And then day 3, that threat moves over to here between Tennessee, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, all the way up here into Iowa, eastern Iowa, and this southern portion of southwest portion of Wisconsin. Which there is, looking at probabilistic, because on day 3 they don't put anything in terms of specifics for like tornadoes, hail, and all that. I mean, they do put it in the discussion of what they think are gonna be the main threats, but they don't put anything specifics in terms of the outlook itself. But they have a big old 45% going from southern Illinois all the way up to here in eastern Iowa, and outside that 30%. Which right now it is, which from what I saw earlier with the outlook itself with the discussion, they were considering a moderate, but due to the evolution of how morning convection could look like, they held back on the moderate for Monday. At least of right now. And depending on what Monday looks like after the convection, depending on when that convection moves out of Illinois and all that, I guess we'll see what happens with the outlook itself after that. Alright, still got another 9 minutes on the tornado warning down here in Texas, which still covers Scotland and Windthrush in Texas. Dry lines out here towards the west, which wouldn't be surprised if something tries to initiate off these because I don't think that's the dry line here, but there's definitely an outflow boundary right here. I got another cell just the southwest of the cell that's severe warned over near Ada, Oklahoma right now. We'll see what that does, because sometimes with cells, you can get these mergers or nudgers. They can nudge or merge into a cell and increase a tornado threat with a cell. Really, there's a camera over here in Andover, Kansas, with the Hazcam. Look at that. Let me increase the size of this real quick. I wonder, have we got anything in terms of like strong wind gusts or anything over here? Do we have a terminal? We do have a terminal radar over here, which is this one here. Wow, long range velocity is quite something. Well, the regular reflectivity looks fine though. Alright, they have extended that tornado warning down here in Texas, which includes Shanahan, not I pronounce it. That's Shannon, not Shinhan. I'm pronouncing Shandahan in Illinois here, where I'm at, and because you got Shandahan, Illinois, but that's Shannon, Texas. We also got Prospect, Buffalo Springs, Joy, and Deer Creek, and Texas. Oh, I didn't want to click that. It definitely, once again, velocities to keep an eye on. I still think it's broad rotation right now, for sure, but still something to keep an eye on. And this is warned for 2-inch size hail as well. Was warned for 3-inch, but all right. Looks like there's a post from National Service Norman, which is a screenshot of the Oklahoma Mesonet, which this is 5:35 p.m. And you can see they highlighted these areas here for cooler air, so the tornado risk is much lower there, which I mean kind of makes sense considering that we've had cloud cover there pretty much all day. I mean, looking at visible satellite, still got quite a bit of cloud cover in some of these areas here. In my elbow. All right. Apparently, okay, there was a second tornado port. It looks like Archer, Texas, and no comments put in there. Looks like. It's like my thing is becoming laggy, which I think it's just mainly because my browser is just being a pain in my butt. So give me like 2 seconds here. Just restart the thing. Well, the browser itself, and then yeah, yeah. It's literally my browser that's causing everything to lag. I don't know why. Okay, that is such a weird thing for it to do that. I like genuinely that is a weird thing for it to do that. All right, let me load back up otherwise real quick. I also could end up just going over to GR2 analysis at some point. All right, there we go. We're back. We are back. And this is cut off at the top. I don't know what it is. It's just the weird things going on here with this browser. Because I use the browser version of WeatherWise. There are cameras near Tulsa. A few of them actually. They extend the severe dust warning on this thing. They have continued putting a tornado possible thing on this though. Tornado possible thing? tornado postal tag on this thing. And this one does not have a tornado postal tag on it. And it's warned for quarter size hail. Oh wow. There's some fog coming off Lake Michigan right now. Over in well, one of the cameras picking it is showing it over in northwestern Indiana. Alright, still keeping my eye on this. There's an area here near Deer Creek that I'm keeping an eye on. Because that is that looks like a tight area conversion there. Is this in the what area is this in right now? This is in the 2% area. And it's already doing that. Yeah, that's definitely be quite the sell. And as now got observed, we have a tornado confirmed to be on the ground. Okay, we have a tornado confirmed to be on the ground in Texas. And this is likely broadcast media confirmed. Damaging tornado and 2-inch size hail. So we have a tornado that's on the ground. It's gonna be northeast of Windthorst. Oh, excuse me. Moving southeast at 15 miles per hour. So it's gonna be this right in here with this area rotation. Still looks like we have an area that is, I mean, area is still a tight area rotation potentially. There's probably some contamination in here. We are close enough to radar, however. Not super far from radar at all. I do wonder if, because if you guys remember, I mentioned outflow boundary over here. I do wonder if it's hooking onto this and it's feeding into the cell. Because outflow boundaries can act as another source of spin, essentially. And we got the cell near ADA that's I'm definitely need to keep an eye on as well. And the cell here, we'll probably need to keep an eye on. I think, or if we do have any cells over here, they're probably gonna be mainly hail for right now, but maybe probably at least elevated risk of tornadoes. Am I being green? I am being green screened out right now. Of course. That is the theme of these. I say theme of these streams, but that is how these streams go. Where I have my green screen, chroma keying me out. What's on with my finger? Like a not a hangnail. Well, I guess it would be called a hangnail, but I saw a tweet from Connor Healy. Wow, just saw the most beautiful stovepipe north of Skyline, Texas, as it was including. I'm guessing that's supposed to be. No pictures was racing. Get my video camera set up. We will see what they caught at distance later. This one was already incredible though. Oh, someone actually got a picture of the tornado northeast of Archer City, 615. Which, where is Archer City at? Let's see. It's over here. So this would be the tornado that's on the ground. I think would be right now. Well, tornado that's on the ground right now. Just checking Discord as well while I'm at it. Alright. Not much on Discord. Still got, looks to be a tight area rotation here, still near Deer Creek. I feel like that area rotate. This area rotation has been kind of meandering around this area for the most part. I mean, they did say it. I mean, the text did say it was moving southeast at 15 miles per hour. So, I mean, it is moving slow. Slow moving cell. Alright, they issued a new tornado warning up in Oklahoma. Which I'm not surprised considering we have this merger here that, once again, like what I was talking about earlier with mergers increasing a tornado potential, and that's more than likely what's going on here. So we got Union Valley, Hardin City, East Jesse, Tupelo, and Centrahoma. Air rotation is just going to be west of Union Valley. That is definitely contamination at this point in terms of rotation. Unless we still do have a tornado there. But I mean, we do have the observed tornado tag on this thing. They Oh wait, I thought that was a special weather statement. No, that's a flash flood warning. See here, radar indicated between 1 and 3 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts up to 2 inches are possible in the warned area. So we got a flash flood threat alongside the supercell here. And we have another supercell here that is warned with course ice hail, 6 mile per hour winds, and tornado pop stack as well. Take a look at our storm ports, which we haven't had too many hail ports so far. Check if okay, I was about to say the Archer City. See if the Archer City tornado port is updated or not. See if there's any comments, but nope, there's nothing. And the site broke. Great. Great. I sound like the Frosted Flakes commercial. That's great. I've been watching this area here. I mean, it looks like, we potentially still have a tornado right in here. Just considering looking at the velocities on this thing. And then see if we got... Even upper tilts even agree that there is rotation still in this thing here. Wouldn't be surprised if it is starting to... at the case where it's got to start trying to recycle towards the southeast. Does you have a bit of a hook ahead of that? Okay, they just went PDS with this thing. So this is a PDS tornado warning for Shannon, Prospect, Buffalo Springs, and Deer Creek in Texas. So if you're in these areas, make sure you are getting to your safe place. That is seriously some strong velocities right in here. And the thing is, if we go up tilts, you still see the strong velocities even on those tilts too. How far up can we go here? Like pretty far up. So 2.5 degree tilt. Still see that rotation on it too. And then we have a new tornado warning over in Oklahoma as well, which includes Hickory, Roth, Pittsburgh. I'm gonna pull up the. Okay, I do actually have Radar Omega up. Which the nice thing is, since I'm at my main setup, I can switch between velocity and all that on here much faster than I can with my other setup. Which is at my dorm. Wow, yeah, even on Radar Omega, still strong velocities on there. You can see too. Like, let me go over to Radar Omega. So here's what Radar Omega looks like. So slightly different. Well, actually, do I have? What do I have in terms of the? I have. I have a different base velocity on weatherwise, but still relatively the same type of things. What we're looking at in terms of velocities here. I swear I thought I saw an 80-mile-per-hour wind that something was warned for. And yeah, there's your rotation in here. And this thing is not moving fast either. Because it's a slow mover in terms of a supercell, moving 15 miles per hour southeast. Don't have much of a debris stature, but my guess is this area does. I mean, when you have areas that have a lot of trees, then or trees or anything like that, that shows up a little bit more on the CC compared to if there isn't much in an area. Which this area here seems to be pretty rural. Although I don't particularly know. I'm hoping there's no houses in this area other than maybe some of the areas here that are away from a tornado. I'm watching that hook down to the southeast of it. Because I mean, this thing could easily recycle. I mean, it's already produced a couple tornadoes already. And it's still not done producing. It just produced, well, produced a tornado that went PDS warned. And we do have a rotation on this one as well, which would be near Dolberg, right in here. Brett Arnold is the closest to that, looks like. And wow, the cell near Kyoto is does have a hook on it, but it's still trying to wrap up. It looks like no tornado pulse tag on it though. So we're sitting at 3 tornado warnings right now, 2 in Oklahoma and the PDS tornado warning over in Texas. Okay, I just had to shift down the area where I had the sector on the meso analysis. And there's a big old bullseye right now where the two cells are over here in Oklahoma in terms of the parameters. Once again, parameters are just a composite of things and not a guarantee. They're not exactly a guarantee of something happening, but still got a PDS tornado warning still going. This tornado warning still going for another 25 minutes. We'll see if they end up dropping the PDS at some point here. It doesn't seem like we have a tight air rotation at this point, like we were seeing a couple scans ago or so. So keep an eye on some of these cells up. Well, these two cells up here. The one near the ADA one looks like it has, I wouldn't say the strong rotation, but the more noticeable rotation. But I saw a post by a storm chaser. I don't remember who it was though. But the storm over near Ada looks like it was elevator or something of a sort. Let's see, we got. Okay, it wasn't a new update. Um, see here. I do wonder what the Equitops look like on this thing. And I'm on the color table thing. Okay, there we go. Actually, let me go to Radar Omega, because Radar Omega, I can do 3D. And yeah, that is some those are some cloud tops, all right. Yeah. I I I really need to not spike my mic. I swear. I'm a, I'm a like either break my mic by speaking into it, or well, speaking my mic by breaking my mic by speaking into it, and also hurting headphone users with their ears, the ears of headphone users. But yeah, this cell is it is quite up there. Let me take a look at turn off 3D. See what we're getting at this 60,000 feet according to radar with the cell. That is something. But if we look at weatherwise, weatherwise has a bit more padded out, I guess I would say, and it's showing lower than that. And and it's the same radar as the one on Radar Omega that I had on too. All right, they issued a new severe dust warning, tornado warning. We got Post Oak, Truce, Newport, and Selma in Texas. And we have I think a CWA region issue here. We got DFW, and yeah, it's Norman there. So yeah, we have some issues in terms of the CWA regions here. And that is going to be going for an hour as well. And that is also warned for a 10 plus size hail now instead of the 2-inch size hail. Looks like they're just gonna let this PDS tornado warning just they haven't dropped the PDS on it, so it looks like they're probably letting it just expire out if I had to guess, unless they are got updated at some point. Oh, excuse me. I was just say, did it even go through the mic? It didn't seem like it went through the mic. Because I burped and I don't know if that went through. I will say, other than Firefox that was being laggy, the stream has been a lot more smoother with the web browser here. I don't know if that's because I'm more zoomed in compared to zoomed out. Maybe it's because I was zoomed out. Even zoomed out, it wasn't as bad as it was. All right. So still PDS warned. They have not dropped a PDS tornado warning tag or anything yet. So we'll see what they do with the next. Once again, we'll see what they do within the next couple minutes or so here. I haven't seen too much of in terms of anything of a CC drop on this. It's been mainly strong. It's been well when it initially was PDS warned, it was strong rotation. And now, as of the current scan with velocities, this looks like it is mainly contamination and not actual rotation. Although, I mean, there are storm spotters down here. Oh, they dropped the PDS. They're continuing it as a confirmed tornado, though. Let's see here. Still says broadcast media confirmed tornado, which is what it was earlier as well with this. Still making his way southeast towards Prospect and Post Oak, Texas, and there's still large hail that is dropping out of this as well. Although the severe dust warning is warned for, well, actually, never mind. This just expired out, but the tornado warning we'll look at for hail, 2-inch size hail, and this tornado warning being up to tennis ball size hail. And they did issue a severe dust warning on top of it, it looks like, though, for 2-inch size hail at 60-mile-per-hour winds. Still watching this. This is just a bunch of contamination in here. Plus, we do actually have a tornado on the ground here, which we don't have exactly a well-defined CC, so we can't confirm it that way. See what our Deville looks like, because this would be one of the ways to at least try and figure out if we got where at least our rotation would be, because where your rotations would be where your updraft, like an updraft would be. So, which perhaps in here, but if we look at the velocities, they're more over towards here. The Jim Tang was on the cell over near Windthorst in Texas. It had a I can't speak. Stovepipe tornado. And they have dropped the confirmed tornado tag on this thing. All right, so we're back to just having a tornado warnings in Texas and Oklahoma. Check back up on our Oklahoma storms while we're at it. Which, I mean, got two areas that are still rotating, but as far as I'm aware, we haven't had anything produced from these yet. And the only cell that we know of that has produced is this one, and weather-wise it's taking a million. Okay, I was about to say weather-wise it's taking a million years to load that. This does have a well, actually looking at velocities, you can actually see the outflow boundary here, and I think that's that's what's been fueling this thing here with it being tornadic. check on our cells over here. Got this cell over here, which I know I talked about earlier, and that seems like it's trying to get its act together with this broad area rotation here near Posey Hollow and Cherry Hill, Arkansas. Excuse me. Let me look at the damage assessment toolkit while I'm at too, because I wonder if they're still doing. 'Cause I know they said the tornado from 2 days ago was EF4, but I do want to see what the damage indicators look like. Wow, that is. I mean, I know there's a lot of houses over here, but that's quite a few EF4 indicators there. Even ahead of it too. Actually, it shows EF1 on top. Actually, there's EF4 and EF1 in there. Oh, that is, yeah, that's quite a few EF4 indicators. That is still very much contaminated with velocities. While we're at it, we'll take a look at the damage assessment toolkit, which is this right here. And you can see we had a few EF4 indicators here, 3 of them here, and then a bunch of EF3s, which your EF3s are your oranges. And then going up here, we have this one over here, which there's a. Trying to click it. Okay, there we go. I clicked on EF4. Wind speed 167. And then going up, and we had a couple over here too. But it's just trees being debarked, which these are hardwood trees, to be specific. I don't think I've ever seen these circle ones before, which they look like those are just errors. Looks like potentially. Is extreme ground scouring. Oh, that would be why, because those are ground scouring. Let me take a look at these pictures because they have pictures. Looks like if that loads, which it seems like it does not want to load at all. Oh, I may have to say, oh well, in a second here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say, oh well, for now. But yeah, there's quite a few. A lot of the EF4 indicators are. Seems like a lot of them are. I mean, a couple of them, of course, buildings, but there's few of them are hardwood trees. And you go up here, and this is one of the times where it was trying to occlude, but then it failed to occlude. So it made this weird loop-de-loop. And then it did it a second time, too. And there's more cases of ground scouring, it looks like. Actually, hay bales moved a significant significant distance. And then it finally finished over here near Bowie Creek. But I am definitely keeping my eye on this right here near Prospect. See what our tilts look like on this thing. Yeah, okay, that would be the area to watch for when it comes to rotation. Heading over into Prospect, Texas here. I don't know why YouTube Studio is showing my thing buffering. And it's working perfectly fine. it is buffering like crazy. Let me go back a little bit in seconds here, so it'll be behind because I mainly have the video going so I can see if there's any issues video wise. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, even though OBS shows it perfectly fine. I don't know why that is. I'm blaming it on YouTube because my internet's fine, OBS is fine. It's legitimately just a YouTube issue right now. My latest mesoscale discussion came. Mesoscale discussion. Latest mesoanalysis came in. Surface-based instability still pretty high. Surface, mixed layer is starting to go down a little bit, but surface and mixed layer are going down. Shear has not increased too much. Where's our? I'm kind of curious. Where is our? I don't know how much we have in terms of the level jet here. Don't know if it's super strong. We do have a shortwave in this area though. What about a 300 mil forcing? Seems like our best forcing is out over near California. YouTube audio streaming 0. Now it's excellent according to YouTube. Now it's excellent. Okay, cool. You know, it was perfectly fine earlier. Okay, they just went to observe with this tornado again here. Yeah, kind of figured when it had that tight air rotation. I kind of figured it had to do something with it. But anyways, we have a confirmed tornado warning, which over Shannon and Prospect, Texas. So make sure you're getting to a safe place as you're now in a tornado. Well, you've been in a tornado warning, but we now have one that is now confirmed to be on the ground. As a triangle for a tornado warning. Seems like a lot of the cells out here in Oklahoma are kind of growing, where they're growing upscale for the most part. Not, I mean, you can still have tornado threat with these, but it seems like a lot of our threat right now is, at least for these in Oklahoma, are growing upscale and are becoming more clustered compared to discrete. So from there, we will probably have the case of mainly wind and hail, but not to rule out the tornado threat, of course. And they issued a tornado warning for this here, it looks like, which I was eyeing that a little bit. So that's be for Winewood and Stratford in Oklahoma. Although this could be going towards the Stratford area, or at least just south or southeast of it. And this is gonna be interesting. I will say it's gonna be kind of an interesting situation up here, where it looks. I mean, it looks like we have a tornado threat even with a clustered mode of storms here. So something to keep an eye on here. All right, 120 range expired out in Texas. We still have once again the one that's observed and down here in Texas. You got this one that's warned for another half hour. The area north of Wynwood and then the other one near Roth. Those are the two areas of rotations that are. Those are the ones that look like they're at least a tighter rotations compared to the one over near. Well, wait, I was about to say Ada, but now it's near Tupelo at this point. This one's actually not tornado warned. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, would be surprised if this one tries to probably briefly produce a tornado potential. We'll see, but ends up happening with that there. Got a timer going. Got like about almost 30 seconds left on it. All right, looking at latest velocities on this saw here. If we do have anything rotating in terms of, or a tornado still on the ground, it'd be between Shannon and Prospect, Texas at this point. Considering if it's not just side lobe contamination, but it does look like it's pretty consistent between tilts. So that looks like it would be our area that we have a concern for rotation for the most part. And there we go. My phone's buzzing now because the timer just went off. All right. They just issued a severe dust warning. 7-mile-per-hour winds observed. And up to tennis ball size hail possible. Oh, last strap. I got a Velcro here. Could be interesting trying to Velcro it because it's like to furthest away from myself here. Although I could probably just take my foot down and then Velcro it. All right, there we go. And they have condensed this tornado warning here. Radar indicated rotation. So, and looking at velocities are much more broad than what they were at earlier.